Welcome distinguished guests, faculty, and graduates to the Spring and Summer 2021 Ivy Tech Indianapolis Virtual Commencement. We are honored to be here to commemorate this very special moment with you and your loved ones. Thank you to everyone who helped support our graduates in realizing their dreams.
Our students have been amazingly resilient during this pandemic. One day we were in class doing everything normal. The next thing we were completely shut down as a college.
Some changes that I've noticed that the faculty has made is that a lot of them have reached out, making sure that we have everything we need.
To graduate, we need people to encourage us. Sometimes we may have the strength to run a race, but when we don't see someone to encourage us, we may give up on the way. Ivy Tech have that.
COVID or no COVID is something that I can think that improved me to know more about technology.
The drive was within our students to continue their education and complete that credential so they could continue to move their life forward even in these difficult COVID times.
They were having to find ways to be virtual and to be online. They had to seek out hotspots. I mean, I love the students who came and parked in the parking lot so they could access the Wi-Fi on their laptops. It was watching them think through the problem set and figure out how they were going to come out the other end, still with the education that they desired, was amazing and inspiring to watch.
I am extremely excited to put my studies to work wherever I decide to go in the criminal justice. I know there are so many jobs, so many opportunities, you know, the door is never closing for criminal justice.
He keeps checking on me. He said, God, I'm not nosy and I'm not choking you, but I want you to succeed. I don't know, maybe he's still here. Mr. Scott, he was in second floor over there. So that is what Ivy Tech have that other schools did not have.
We learn every day. It's not about the age. You will see 60 years, 70 years old man, woman, and you want to go learn anymore. Any day, every day. We learn from each other, you know. So that's what I believe there.
Well, I think this generation is going to be much like the great generation. You know, in that adversity, we build a resiliency that many didn't have to have before. And I think that will show itself well in their careers, as every one of us who've been out there a while understand that there will be good days and bad days and challenging times at work. And I believe those who've come through this year, these times, will be shining in ways that maybe they didn't understand they had the grit to compete and be successful.
And now, the Chancellor for Ivy Tech Indianapolis, Dr. Kathy Lee, will begin the ceremony by introducing Shedrick Whipple and the singing of the National Anthem.
Please join us in the singing of the National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
Thank you, Dr. Whipple, who is one of our very own student service representatives. Welcome, everyone, to the Ivy Tech Community College Indianapolis Commencement Ceremony for our spring and summer 2021 graduates. I am Dr. Kathy Lee, the Chancellor for Ivy Tech Indianapolis. The program for this ceremony may be found at www.ivytech.edu/Indy graduation. This has been a year like no other, but you did not let it stop you from completing your goal, and now here we are to celebrate your college graduation. Congratulations, you made it. You, your family, and friends know how hard you have worked to get to this moment, and we are all so proud of you. Another person who is proud of you is the president of Ivy Tech Community College, Dr. Sue Ellsberman, and she now has a few words she would like to share with you.
Hello, I'm Sue Ellsberman, president of Ivy Tech Community College. Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors is a wise African proverb. This past year has placed us on sea with huge waves and storms. None of us had been prepared for a pandemic. Few of us even paid attention in early 2020 when we heard the new term COVID-19, and yet it has humbled and taught us much. The Great Generation did not become great because of the year they were born, but because of the life they endured, which made them the most resilient generation ever. Selfless, hardworking, humble, and industriousness. Graduates, you have the opportunity to be America's next great generation. You have succeeded during a time of adversity, great and small. Many of you have seen your own livelihoods or those of your family and friends on the brink. All of you have seen your day-to-day world close down, reconfigure, and transform into a much smaller virtual world. Your courses have turned virtual. Your day-to-day work has been masked and socially distanced, or in front of a screen working alone. Accountability has been significantly increased in quarantine, contract tracing, testing, and finally vaccinations. You have not gotten to share daily events with a wide range of friends and family. Milestone accomplishments have gone largely without celebration. This adversity, large and small, coupled with your resilience to move forward in the midst of a pandemic, will define your future. You have shown a mark of greatness by persisting during a time of challenges. Your next mark must be earned with launching yourself into your future. I speak for all of Ivy Tech's faculty and staff when I say we are proud of you. We have done our part by creating the opportunity for you to learn, grow in competency, and reach your goals towards a degree or certificate, recognizing it may very well be the first landing of many as you march up the steps of success. Enjoy today as you celebrate a chapter well executed, but no later than tomorrow, begin to craft where you will go next, how you will continue to grow, thrive, and contribute. Ivy Tech will always be here for you, for your next credential, for your next skill up, for career coaching, for alumni engagement, for advisory boards, for partnerships. Graduates, I hope you will join me in thanking the Ivy Tech faculty and staff who have made your successful educational journey possible. While I believe they are the best in higher education, this year they proved themselves to be exceptional, as they also had to figure out how to teach and provide services in a mostly virtual world. While I cannot guarantee when COVID will be behind us, I can guarantee that the road ahead will have highs and lows, successes and learning experiences. Ivy Tech will always be here to help you take that next step forward or to skill up for your next career change. And finally, I want to ask that as you succeed in your career, family, and life, to continue to also pay it forward to your community, to your church, to others. That could mean volunteering at a local food bank, serving as a church leader, or running for elected office. Indiana is a great state because of countless Hoosiers who go above and beyond to look out for the health and the well-being of others. Commencement is our favorite day at Ivy Tech. I sure hope it is for you too. We wish you well as you launch a new career or transfer up for your next level of education. We wish you much success and happiness. And we hope that you do big things that make a difference to your family, community, our state, and nation.
Thank you, Dr. Ellsberman, for sharing those thoughts with us. Each year, it is the job of the Chancellor to select and introduce the keynote speaker for graduation. For the past 8 years, I have happily done that. This year, I decided that I would be your keynote speaker. What was I thinking? I hated speech class in college. Well, I was thinking that this is my 37th graduation ceremony here at Ivy Tech. I have attended every graduation ceremony since I started teaching here a long time ago. I figured I have heard quite a few speeches over the years, and since this is my last graduation ceremony before I retire, I should go for it and do the speech. I am excited to do this, but honestly, this is not what I thought it would be. I never dreamed this ceremony would be a virtual one. This is not the commencement ceremony that I had hoped for. I doubt that this is the ceremony that you had hoped for either. But really, the type of ceremony doesn't matter. You're still graduating. You are part of the class of 2021. You are a college graduate. I hope you're watching this virtual graduation with friends and family to celebrate, but even if you're watching alone, I hope you will still celebrate. You have done something very special. You have completed your college goals, and you have done it in the strangest of worlds. Class of 2021, you have completed college in the middle of a global pandemic. During the past year, most of the world has paused or even stopped. Some of you may have lost loved ones. You may have had to overcome personal struggles, but you kept moving and did not let the past year stop you. So now is when the graduation speaker is supposed to share important lessons or advice with the graduates. But I realize there's not much I can tell you, class of 2021. Normally, graduates are told to go make a difference and be successful. You have already been doing that. You have continued to set an example of what success looks like. I am willing to bet that most of you have spent the last year multitasking, working, taking care of family and friends, and going to college. I know that many of you were on the front lines doing essential work. Thank you for that. But it is also important to note that we all have a vital role to play. Please know that you are all essential to those around you. You make a difference and an impact every day. Graduates are also told to go forward with purpose. You have already started down that road when you came to Ivy Tech. You may be the first in your family to get a college degree. Well done. You may know exactly what you want to do next, or you may still be looking at options. Either one is okay. Just keep moving in the direction that is right for you. You had a purpose. Get a college education. Check done. Now, set the next goal. Job, family, more school. You know what is right for you. My first real job was as a respiratory therapist, an associate degree prepared respiratory therapist. I loved it. It turned out not to be my only job or my only college degree. So please don't think your journey is done. You have only just started. Okay, you can celebrate today, but then back at it. Just keep moving with the same drive and purpose that got you here today. You are worthy and deserving of that journey. Believe in yourself. We do. So what wisdom can I share with you? My advice for you is based on what I have learned over the years at Ivy Tech. It is all about the people. Let me say that again. It is all about the people. Wherever you go, whatever you do, surround yourself with people who are as passionate about what they are doing as you are. Any job is better when the people you work with care about each other and the work. You are starting your careers. I am ending mine. I started as a respiratory therapist, came to Ivy Tech to teach, and then moved into administration. All of my roles have been challenging and rewarding, but what I will always remember are the wonderful individuals that I have worked with. Those who supported me on the bad days, kept me honest, made me laugh, and yes, made me cry. The students who challenged me, drove me crazy, and then made me so proud. The staff, the faculty, and the students, all of them made me love them. They made me respect them. And because of them, I love the work I was called to do here at Ivy Tech. I have been blessed beyond measure. So as you look for your best place, your best path forward, and look for and surround yourself with people who believe in the real you and call you to be the best person you can be. Don't settle for less. So class of 2021, I wish you good fortune as you continue on your journey. Enjoy this moment, celebrate your achievement, and thank all of those who have supported you this far. And then get back to work, building that future that you deserve. Thank you for letting me share these few moments with you. Thank you for choosing Ivy Tech to be part of your journey. Being part of Ivy Tech has been one of the best parts of my journey. And now, it's time to hear from those who helped you along the way. I would now like to turn it over to your dean to share a few words.
Please welcome Dr. Angie Kohler, Dean of the School of Nursing.
Thank you, Dr. Lee, and enjoy your retirement. I'm Angie Kohler, the Dean for the School of Nursing. Hello and welcome to the commencement ceremony for the School of Nursing for May 2021. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the faculty and staff from the School of Nursing at Lawrence, Greencastle, and the Franklin campuses to welcome you and say congratulations to all of our graduates. Our graduating class includes multiple cohorts with students from various diverse backgrounds. Educating nursing students during normal times is a challenge, and during a pandemic, those challenges only increase and differ and add to the experience. As we come together to celebrate our graduates, one often reflects on the experience nursing school has. Nursing school is very demanding. There are many skills, knowledge, critical thinking, and clinical judgment skills to acquire. During this past year, many different challenges have occurred. Virtual classrooms in clinical, practicing skills at home, exams being taken at home, educating our future nurses changed. This change not only affected the students, but the faculty, the families, and the healthcare community. I must first say a big thank you to my faculty and staff who are dedicated to their students and to the students' success. They are passionate about educating our future nurses. Many have been stretched beyond their boundaries with different formats for classes, for testing, simulation, and communicating with our students and with each other. The faculty bring vast knowledge and experience that assist our students with being successful. Thank you, faculty and staff. Thank you to the family and friends who support these students during their tenure at Ivy Tech Community College. Without your support, their success would not be possible, and handling all the challenges in this past year would not have been as easy. Their successes are your successes. To our graduates, congratulations on a job well done. You persevered during this time. Today is a day to celebrate your successes. You will be moving forward to a very different workforce from a year ago. The pandemic has illustrated how, as nurses, you are heroes. Nursing practice is ready for you. The question is, are you ready for nursing practice? I can say with confidence you will move into the workforce and have many challenges, but you will be successful. You have been equipped with the knowledge, skill, attitudes to be successful. Please remember that. Each day will be new, and there will be new challenges. Remember, challenges are important parts of your life and growth, both personally and as a professional nurse. Please step into nursing practice and illustrate and be proud of being an Ivy Tech Community College nursing graduate. You are the best example of why and what we do every day. Congratulations, graduates. We are proud of you. A nursing pinning ceremony isn't just a tradition. It's an important representation of nursing students' hard work, perseverance, and commitment to their chosen profession. It's a time for students to come together and to celebrate with their classmates and with their loved ones. Most importantly, this decisive moment represents transition from being a student to a full-fledged nurse. The historical significance of pinning dates back to the 12th century from the 1860s with Florence Nightingale to current day where pins are represented as proof of a nurse's education. The candle lighting ceremony represents Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp, and her lamp will always shine brightly as a symbol of care and devotion that a nurse has for their patients. The candle and the nursing pledge represents your commitment to carry forward the ideals for which Florence Nightingale stood. Thank you and congratulations. It gives me great pleasure to introduce your fellow classmate, Margarita Rodriguez-Pinata, as she presents the student response.
Please welcome Margarita Rodriguez-Pineda, School of Nursing student speaker.
Dear class of 2021, we have made it. After everything nursing school in 2020 threw at us, we have made it to commencement. Have you taken the time to celebrate yourself and those who helped you along your journey? I know that this is not exactly how we imagine graduation to be, but I'd like for you to take a deep breath and be aware of today. Where are you? What did it take for you to be here? I hope that you are celebrating today because you deserve it. We deserve it. And it did not come easy for any of us. I know that for me, it took a lot of sleepless nights, stressful days, endless hours of studying, getting up extra early for clinicals, balancing work and taking care of my family, and let's be honest, some tears as well. Many of us endured countless obstacles to get here, some that I can't even imagine, and all while trying to survive a pandemic. If you think about it, the pandemic is as if the rest of the world joined along with us on that first week of nursing school, where we learned to wash our hands and put on our PPE. Finally, being clean is socially acceptable, and not just clean, nursing clean. But in all seriousness, we as nurses will lead the way to reinforce and support the lessons we have all learned from the pandemic and nursing school into the future. The length that it took us to get here is different for each. Some of us had setbacks, and some felt like we were barely hanging on. I am not sure what exactly you all went through, but I do know that 2020 was a year that none of us will ever forget. The world was falling apart around us, but we remained focused on what we needed to accomplish to get to the day where we would get to say, "I'm graduating." We studied for each test like our lives depended on it. We worried about whether we would get to have clinicals with real-life patients or not. And if we did, we worried about the safety of our patients, our families, and ourselves. We worried that we were never going to feel like a real nurse, but here we are. I know we all have plans for what comes next. Some will be entering the workforce immediately, some will be transferring to a four-year institution, and some will be taking some very deserved time off. No matter what your goals are, when you are planning them, think about these three questions. What are you bringing? Where are you going? And what are you doing when you get there? What are you bringing? As a nurse, you bring leadership and advocacy because you are the voice of your patients. You bring creativity and kindness because if you don't, who will? You bring instinct and bravery because sometimes that's what you need to keep someone alive. You bring purpose and compassion because if you didn't, then nursing would not be your calling. You bring a mind that is ready to think critically because as Dr. Sharkey would say, any fool can be taught to program an IV pump. But most importantly, you bring perseverance because you are here right now in spite of everything that tried to stop you. Where are you going? We each have our own path with different goals, and some are still trying to figure it out. Regardless of where you are, do not stop until you get there, and wherever it is that you go, find the opportunity to heal the mind, soul, heart, and body of each of your patients, their families, and yourself. Whether you decide to work in education, a hospital, long-term care, a clinic, I hope it brings you joy, even on the hardest of days. Now, what are you doing when you get there? Well, I hope you make change and stand up for what you strongly believe in. I hope you're patient with yourself as you embark on this brand new journey. And I hope you continue to persevere because for many, nursing school in the middle of a pandemic is all we know. And that alone is a challenge that proves that even when the world is in full chaos, you can do what you have to do to just keep going. So as you plan for what's next, I ask you again, what are you bringing? Where are you going? And what are you doing when you get there? Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Margarita. We would now like to honor the following graduates with an award for clinical excellence. These awards are for the students who excelled in the clinical area. Nominations are made by their clinical instructors throughout the program. From the practical nursing program, Sheena Lenavore, Dominique Lipson, and Madeline Williams. From the Associate of Science in Nursing program, Nicole Baker, Shannon Bessor, Laura Boldick, Tracy Bricker Moreno, and Kelsey Limpage. Congratulations on this acknowledgement and your hard work in the clinical setting.
And now, Dr. Rod Brown, Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs for Ivy Tech Indianapolis.
Thank you, Dr. Kohler and student speaker Margarita Pineda. I am Dr. Rod Brown, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for Ivy Tech Indianapolis. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the academic achievements of our students. Phi Theta Kappa is an international honor society for two-year colleges which recognizes and encourages academic achievement. Congratulations to those who have achieved this honor. We would now like to take an opportunity to recognize those students who have excelled in their studies as demonstrated by their grade point averages. Congratulations to those graduates who have achieved on a 4-point scale. Cum laude for those with a cumulative GPA of 3.5 to 3.7. Magna cum laude for those with a cumulative GPA of 3.8 to 3.9, summa cum laude for those with a cumulative GPA of 4.0. Congratulations, graduates, on your commendable work. It now gives me great pleasure to present the graduate candidates to the President and the Board of Trustees. These candidates have fulfilled the requirements for their respective degrees and certificates, either completely or conditionally, and are recommended by the faculty of Ivy Tech Community College, Indianapolis, for the conferring of their degrees. Conferring the degrees will be Dr. Kara Monroe, Provost and Senior Vice President.
Exercising the authority of the State Board of Trustees, legally vested by the people of Indiana through the General Assembly and the Governor, and delegated by the trustees to the President and her team, and recognizing your nomination by the faculty and with the approval of the administration for having successfully completed the prescribed courses of study, I now confer upon each of you the appropriate degrees and certificates with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereof. Congratulations, graduates.
While we are not able to be in person because of COVID restrictions, many of our graduates participated in a grad walk event in early May to cross the stage. We will now share a video of your school's grad walk. At the end of the virtual ceremony, all graduates will be listed by their program.
For the School of Nursing.
We will now celebrate and call our graduates. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAP, Virginia Campbell. Associate of Science, Sydney Allen. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAP, Madison Elise Thompson. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAP, Cyrus Kongo. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Mary Wangi. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Annika Bertrand. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Kayla Aguirre. Associate of Science, Nursing, LPN Transition, Emily Grace Pointer. Associate of Science, Nursing, LPN Transition, Jennifer Jasmine Armstead. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Margarita Rodriguez Pineda. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Melissa Nicole Vandemark. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Chanel Denise Martin. Associate of Science, Nursing, LPN Transition, Tiffany Renee Rowland. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Anna Renee Sorensen. Associate of Science, Nursing, Transition, Deanna Talley. Associate of Science, Nursing, LPN Transition, Ishtareth Graham. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAT, Balani Ajibade. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAP, Alexandria Rebecca Ackridge. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAP, Alina Zahidi. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAP, Shannon Michelle Thomas. Associate of Science, Nursing, LPN Transition, Brittany Nicole Clark. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAP, Emily Turner. Associate of Science, Nursing, LPN Transition, Katie Ann McCullough. Associate of Science, Nursing, TSAP, Lauren Ashley Alcorn. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Denisa Morris. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Danielle Brandenburg. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Danae Dennis. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Caitlin K. Groves. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Jessica Lynn Abrams. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Becky Lynn Mitchell. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Kimberly Rose Walker. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Casey Bantigo Limpag. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Sabrina Lyons. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Michaela Baker. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Allison Barbara Talty. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Jordan Michelle Jones. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Sheena Linover. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, cum laude, Jennifer Lee Allen. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Tabitha Bigler Ditch. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Scarlett Jo Wagner. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Liam Mendez. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Shelby Tony. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Danae Joy Means. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Dawn Noel Cornett. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Tracy Bricker Marino. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Janelle Elizabeth Mercedes Barton. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Emily Elizabeth Lagenauer. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Eric Olan Rodriguez. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Karis Elise Armstrong. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Amanda Lynn Snyder. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Cheyenne Nicole Nash. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Amalara Adigwe. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Olamajue Adubra. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Tamara Span. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Alawase Adoja. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Audra Kerr. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Nina Marie Dodd. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, James William Wilson. Associate of Science Nursing TSAT, Michelle Nicole Wood. Associate of Science Nursing TSAP, Hannah Jewel Warner. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Simret Tisva Michael. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Brittany Yaley. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Cassandra Mathias. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Kristen Letterly. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Melissa Sue Milligan. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Sabina Lozano. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Lauren Faith Marcourt. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Mariela Vasquez Andrade. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Trevor Hayes. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Shayna Greitzer. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Alice Robbins Huff. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Kansas Elia Parsons. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Timothy Devin Harris, Jr. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Sharon Jean Matthews. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Lindsay Baxter. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Haley Marie Hayes. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Emily Griffey. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Brooke Taylor Faulkner. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Lori Renee Balduke. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Cameron Lee Gillespie. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Julie Dawn Ray. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Sharon Hallett. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Davina Nongwanya. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Aaliyah Lee Duncan. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Diana Lee. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Carly Renee Headland. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Emily Elaine Shannon. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Kayla Danielle Alvier. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Emily Munoz. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Amy Cummings. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Hannah Tweedy. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Marissa Lynn King. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Taryn Mace. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Hannah Monet Murph. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Balaje Oyabadi. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Sheila Marie Jarrett. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Tiffany Lee Wallace. Associate of Science, Nursing LPN Transition, Anna Elizabeth Hughes. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Michaela Ann Butler. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Brianna Coppis. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Kelsey Cup. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Courtney Callan. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Katriana Erin Reddington. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Tazire Geraldine Weaver. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Chloe Meyer. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Kayla Einhorn. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Ashton Marie Messer. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Ruth Maria Nayubata. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Tracy Lee Douglas Bell. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAB, Ebun Winifred Edijube. Technical Certificate, Practical Nursing, Rhonda Ali Mae Brazier. Associate of Science, Nursing, Talisha Monet Ford.
Associate of Nursing, Sky Abdullah. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Megan Elizabeth Berner. Associate of Science, Nursing TSAP, Peter Gitu Chege.
Let us please give an amazing round of applause for our Ivy Tech Community College graduates in the class of 2021. Let's celebrate.
Please welcome Dr. John Cowles, Vice Chancellor of Student Success.
Congratulations, graduates. My name is Dr. John Cowles, Vice Chancellor for Student Success at Ivy Tech Community College in Indianapolis. We've now reached the point you've all been waiting for, the turning of the tassel. The turning of the tassel symbolizes your transition from student to graduate. Graduates, you may now turn your tassel from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to virtually present to you the 2021 graduating class of Ivy Tech Community College. Congratulations, graduates.
Graduates, at this time, please light your candle for the candle lighting ritual and reciting of the nursing pledge.
In the full knowledge of the responsibilities I am undertaking,
I promise to care for my patients with all knowledge, skills, and understanding I possess,
without regard to race, color, creed, political, or social status,
sparing no effort to conserve life and to alleviate suffering and to promote health.
I would respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of the patients under my care,
and hold in professional confidence all personal information entrusted to me.
I will refrain from any action which might endanger the quality of life or of health. I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge and skills at the highest level
and give my support and cooperation to all the members of the healthcare team.
with full awareness of my qualifications and limitations.
I will do my utmost to maximize the potential of the nursing profession and to uphold and advance its standards.
You may now extinguish your candle.
Congratulations, class of 2021. We are very proud of all that you've accomplished over this past year and so happy to see you at graduation. I hope you are enjoying this moment in your life and looking forward to what the future brings you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We are so proud of you, graduates.
You have accomplished so much during these unprecedented times.
Now go do some unprecedented celebrating.
Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Yay!
Congratulations, graduates! The Career Coaching and Employer Connections team congratulates our graduates. Congratulations!
Way to go, grads. We're proud to be a part of your journey, and we hope this helps make your dreams come true.
Thank you for your participation and congratulations. May the road rise to meet you on your journey. Congratulations.
This concludes the Spring and Summer 2021 Virtual Commencement Ceremony. From all of us here at Ivy Tech, thank you for attending. Congratulations, graduates!
I can't wait to see that. Will I be able to put it on my Facebook page?